Welcome back to CE5 Minneapolis. I've just returned from a week-long Ambassador to the Universe training with Dr. Greer and 25 others from around the Earth. And there was no real way for me to pick up the podcast where I left it off with the same music and the same style and format because, once again, everything has changed. Everything feels completely different. It feels like a new world, positive, but it also came with lots of hard truths about humanity and the state of this planet. But the first night the group met was Saturday evening near Joshua Tree National Park in California, and soon we were setting up the circle, surrounded by desert mountains, and there was a cool nighttime desert air. And an electric feeling, a sense of anticipation that we were going to be in for something special.
There's a big gap here that should be closed, unless we're waiting for someone that's missing. So you should be close enough to the person next to you that you can hold your hands out and hold their hand. If you're not that close, pull the circle together so you're that close together, okay? Everybody understand what contiguous means? You're going to expand your vocabulary this week. Contiguous, right adjacent to. So the reason we want to be a contiguous circle is that it's coherent and energetic work. And also, at a certain point, we'll do a meditation where we'll actually hold hands, and if you're not contiguous, you can't reach those next to you. So you want to be fairly close to one another. If someone's missing and comes in, we can always expand or a little space and let someone in. I think everyone's here, though. Anybody not here, raise your hand.
It's just going off. Was that counting sequence?
Excellent. Oh. There look like two more primates approaching. I'm speaking as an ET would. Oh my God, a primate.
Say they had the tons too?
Yeah, lots of people did.
Does anyone have an extra tones disc?
I do.
You agree?
He told us we shouldn't
Okay,
do that,
cool.
but this thing was.
I have them, but
So
not...
individual talking we won't do until the break, about 2 hours from now. Anything that needs to be shared should be shared with the entire group in a voice that everyone can hear. And what we want to avoid are individual conversations because there's no way to create a group coherence if there are individual conversations. So if there's something to share, be sure you share it with everyone. There we go. That's excellent. Oh, good. So I think 2 people just arrived.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Is everyone with a buddy?
No, I need to move over to her.
No?
I need to move over to Andrea.
That's a little late for that. Who are you next to that you could be?
Hey.
Are you guys buddies?
What's up? Yes, we are now.
So how many are in your buddy system?
Okay.
Just 2?
Me and him.
So now you have a menage a trois. How lucky for you. Okay, so we'll just do that. But in the future, just sit next to your buddy.
Some of this may seem really insignificant, like the mechanics of it all, and maybe a little nitpicky at first, but it very soon becomes clear that this work doesn't just require the intention to make contact. It actually requires us to behave in a certain way as a team and to show unity as a group, and also to honor and respect each other and our opinions and feelings and experiences. And really, mostly it requires us to open our heart. It's also a course in astronomy and astrophysics. Here's Dr. Greer.
All right. This is due east, right here.
Yeah. Can I just say
This
we've got
is-
another satellite moving along the edge of the Big Dipper, heading north.
Right
Small
here.
one, yeah.
Okay, I was going to point out These two stars this is the Big Dipper. Everybody see it?
Yeah.
And these two stars always point to the North Star. This is the North Star, so that is north. Okay? See this star? That's north. This, as I mentioned, is east. This is south. And this, of course, is west. When we give directions, since no one can see you pointing with your finger, what you want to do is give the directions and how many degrees elevation above the horizon. To wit, 0 degrees would be the horizon right here, which is right below. 90 degrees, the zenith is here. This is not the zenith. The zenith is this 10-degree area right above us. Okay? So that's 90. Which means if you divide 90 and 0 by 2, this is about 45 degrees. Got it? So Sirius, Orion, Venus, which will be setting in a bit, Jupiter, of course the Big Dipper here, the North Star here, Arcturus is this star system here. Oh, here's another alleged satellite. I say alleged because you never know. Right there. Everybody see?
Heading south.
It is headed south. Very slowly.
It's really slow.
It's either very high or it's in a high orbit or it's something's not strange. Now, one thing we do, I mean, if you sense it isn't a satellite, ask it to do something a satellite can't do, like change directions or signal to us or something. But, you know, this soon after sunset, you do see a lot of satellites. But that's why we always go out with the satellite chart.
No,
Oh, yeah.
it's around.
Can you
60
see it
Going
move?
south.
South and the east.
Heading south. Can I give you a simple way of telling degrees? Put your hand and make a small C, and then put it at the horizon. That's about 10 degrees. And now just count them up. 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, and all the way up to 90.
Right.
And you'll get a sense of, just point it in the direction and tell us the number of, multiplied by 10 degrees. That should be
East 70 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
This first night is a little disorganized as everyone figures out who is handling which roles. And in this clip, the staff is trying to figure out why the same person is taking care of the satellite charts and the tones. I ended up playing DJ with the tones after tonight. Again, all of this is intimately tied with contact, working together and being a team.
Yeah, that's why we divide the tasks up. Everybody understand the concept?
Yes.
Teamwork. You know, being head of a trauma team, you learn everyone works together, or the patient dies. So we all have to work together, or the earth dies. So that's it.
Yeah,
the,
it's quite
the light of this.
That went right over us.
Excellent vision.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
Yep. So that would be a plus something way up there of magnitude. Now, when you look at these charts, it's counterintuitive. The bigger the negative number, the brighter the object, right? Everybody understand magnitudes of stars and satellites?
Yes.
So
No.
a -5 is very bright. A 0, you can see it. A +5 is very dim.
Okay.
So when you look at the charts, don't think the plus means it's brighter. Those it's, you know, who knows why scientists come up with such stupid things. But, I mean, it's the opposite of what you would think. So just remember, the plus numbers are the dimmer numbers. The negative ones are the brighter. So you'll find I have a running social commentary on humans, which is not altogether favorable.
As for the running social commentary, I can definitely attest to this. It actually presented me with a sort of internal struggle that I had to deal with during the week. as I began to understand the full weight of the problem, especially when viewed from the ET's perspective. It's easy to be blasé about something that you don't fully understand or are aware of.
There's a very massive ET craft that's being imaged. Oh, just as I said that, the magnetometer went off.
I know. I saw something.
Did you hear that?
I saw something bright.
So let me review the equipment we have here. We ran out of time at the house, but I'll use if you'll forgive me, I'll use the light for a moment. This is a magnetometer. It's a trifometer. We have it on the magnetic setting on the finest 0 to 3. And it picks up magnetic field change. So you set it, when you first turn it on, you turn this so it's, hear it squealing? Mm-hmm. You turn it back to where it's quiet. That zeroes it. And if it begins to make sound, it means that there's a magnetic field change. Now, if you walk up to an electronic device or an outlet or TV or microwave oven, it'll just go, These, the ETs, we've asked them to use these to communicate and talk. So they'll actually start communicating through this magnetometer in a pattern which it won't make with just a man-made electronic system. And since everyone's cell phones are off and we don't have a TV out here, these should be quiet because they're zeroed. They've been going off since we formed Circle. It's because the ETs are actually checking in and out with us here at the head table. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
And they're using, it's not a linear system, it's transdimensional where they're folded within space-time, and they're using the circuitry of these as a communication tool. So that's the magnetometer. Now the same thing applies to the radar detectors. We have two out on the site. One is one we call Walter, because a guy named Walter gave it to us. Battery operated, it's an inexpensive one. But it will go off, and it has a very distinct series of tones it makes when they're making a connection. Like sometimes it'll go beep beep for yes, and beep beep beep, we are here. And it doesn't make the sound that it does when a highway patrol radar gun would hit it. It's very communicative and very, very specific. And this is called a portable radar detector. It's battery operated, so you don't have to have it plugged into your car. So everyone can get one of those anywhere online for very inexpensive. Then we also have, this is not so inexpensive, what's called a Storm Tracker Professional Series. This is it picks up lightning bolt strikes. Now, there are no lightning bolt strikes around here, but there's a group of ETs that are headed up by very large protector guardian ETs from the Arcturan star system. And when I'm moving, if I'm in a car and this is on, or if I'm even walking with it in my backpack and it's on, as I make every turn, it will go off as if lightning's right on top of us. And they're doing that to keep track, and they're my guardian protector ETs. But it's a very amazing when this happens, and there's no lightning. We've talked to the people who manufacture all these items. They say this is impossible, but it's not impossible because the ETs are using transdimensional energy systems electronically to go into these really inexpensive systems. Although this one is maybe $500 or $600, but the others are relatively inexpensive.
I just saw a flash bulb go off above your head.
Wow.
And 30 degrees up.
Listen.
So
I saw it about 10 seconds or 20 seconds before you said that. Do
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
again.
and then the
Exactly.
detectors
Sure.
just went off.
and I heard a high-pitched tone when you're talking about the magnetometer almost for the
Where
entire
you saw
time.
it here?
No,
A little to the left and a
about
little
30
down.
degrees up,
Yeah.
and no, to the left and
Further-
down about
further
20
north.
degrees,
Yeah,
right
about there. Yeah.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's
where we
very
saw stuff
important.
last night, too.
Yeah, it
So
just flashed.
that's we call them a flash bulb. It's when an ET craft comes into this dimension and just lights up a point in the sky like a star coming on.
Yep.
And at that moment, the detectors, you may have heard them go off. And that means that they're here watching. Now that one I think is kindness, and she's very close. I saw her last night also.
Mm-hmm.
So with the night, I have these very good night scope binoculars. There's nothing there.
Signaling again.
Okay, listen. They're excited.
Mm-hmm.
They're very excited we're here. Did you hear that? So these electronics are how they are talking through us. Yeah. So we have had this contact has actually begun.
Your flesh finds me out, teases the crack in me, smittens me without. Possibly maybe, possibly maybe. As much as I definitely enjoy solitude, I wouldn't mind perhaps spending little time with you. Sometimes.
Be very still, please. These are Pleiadian. This is different, a different pattern than the other one. Because we put our consciousness on the Pleiades. Was that my magnetometer?
Yes, I
yeah.
think so.
So that was the magnetometer I have was doing that transmission. These transmissions are really important for you to begin to wrap your minds around. Remember, there's nothing out here that should make any of these things go off. And you could go to people with PhDs in electromagnetic science, and it's instead of spending hundreds of millions of dollars on radio telescopes in Arecibo, we have a few $100s worth of things, and they're talking to us through them. So now, as the week goes on, you'll learn to feel it. So as they're doing the pattern, if you're very quiet and listen and connect to the pattern, go to the intelligence and the persons doing it, and you will actually see the ETs, their starship, and their planet they're from, and what message they're transmitting. It sounds highly intuitive, and in a sense it is, but it's actually a very specific type of remote viewing where you connect to the electronic communication and see the source it's coming from. And then begin to feel and see in your mind's eye, your third eye, which is your, you see with your mind anyway, not your physical eyes. Even your physical vision is being processed into the mind, the consciousness. So remember that your main way of perceiving is your mind, not your physical senses.
There's
Your
a
physical
really
senses are
bright
just
satellite right in the middle of the Big Dipper at about 80, almost 90 degrees.
right here,
It just went.
pretty
I
much
just saw
halfway
something
through
go
the night.
across.
Shooting star.
Was that a shooting star?
It looked like it.
Looked like it.
An alleged shooting star.
Let's shoot.
I always say this because, the skeptics say an alleged UFO. So I say, well, it's an alleged airplane. That's an alleged star. There's an alleged car coming down the road. I kind of turn it on its head. An alleged.
But ET crafts sometimes move like shooting stars.
They can.
So that's why you always have to tune in.
Yeah, you have to tune into it. There can be an object, they're called fast walkers. They move very fast across space and can turn on and off. Now, if it makes a turn, and we've had actually objects that look like a falling star stop and back up or make a turn, that's not a falling star. Okay?
Sine wave.
Yeah, or sine wave like we did in Arizona last year, about a year ago, actually, where an object comes in and literally does like a sine wave thing. And you don't have, falling stars don't do that. So little by little, you'll learn all this. So we do transdimensional physics, astrophysics, electromagnetic systems, higher consciousness, everything. It's the whole spectrum this week, isn't it? Near Arcturus.
Yeah.
So is this helpful, this orientation?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to share? Or experiences that's brought them here that they think the group really should know? Feel free to share.
Well, I came from New Zealand because I feel that this is the most important thing that human beings can be doing right now.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm really happy to be here with everybody.
Oh, I
and
love that you're
feeling
here.
really inspired.
This is such an awesome group, by the way. Thank you for coming all that way.
It's just down the road.
Yeah. That's right. Compared to the star systems out there. Oh, and by the way, over by Cassiopeia, I don't know if I can see it because it's a little bit, it's a little low. I'm going to try to find the Andromeda Galaxy, where Bijou is from. Oh, that's him. Hear it?
Yep.
As soon as I said Bijou and Andromeda Galaxy, that started signaling. Off the scale. It's like an orchestra. That's him.
And as much as this work is focused on the sky, it seems that planet Earth herself holds many of the mysteries for us and plays actually a vital role in keeping many ET bases concealed and safely hidden in mountains and under the oceans, and a huge intergalactic base under Joshua Tree National Park. And just now, Jeremy notices an illuminated area up on the mountainside, the source of which we ended up finding out to be a car driving up the valley. But regardless, CE5 is a master's program in using all of your senses. So you need to be tuned in and aware, and then observe and share.
No, but that's a good observation, because often we will have ET craft that are dematerialized, that are almost like a foggy, scintillating area of light come right out of the Earth. So don't forget, the ETs can dematerialize, come into the Earth, and then come up through the Earth to envelop us.
Wow.
See? And some of our most profound contact events have happened by the ETs coming up through the Earth and then having a light or orb or like Bijou appearing all around us. They didn't come from the sky. They came from inside the Earth. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
We're in a circle as you're observing what's in front of you so you can report to the whole group.
Right. We keep all four directions under surveillance.
So when someone makes an observation, should we continue watching our sector?
Yes, but you're welcome to look.
Oh yeah, but I mean the idea is that when we're just observing, we don't look in all in one direction, because we find ET events happen in all directions and the ground, and the most beautiful things have happened at ground level or right above ground level, where a beautiful thing will burst, a burst of light or a scintillating form will just happen. Oh, listen. I hear hillbilly music.
Saturday night in Pioneer Town.
Saturday night in a big city.
What species is that?
City.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I'm just going to help Meg move the chair.
What happened?
You need that chair instead of this thing.
Humor and laughter and funny conversations were common in this group, and it was a great way to get to know each other. Dr. Greer is a super funny dude, and he continually mentioned that the ETs like laughter, and they're often themselves very playful and fun.
Cover me.
Keeping levity in light of the situation is admirable. And the situation is a crisis.
Area of the sky. So, one of the things you learn is that the ETs are certainly aware, as I am, of the military doing reconnaissance on top of what we're doing. But it doesn't stop them from making contact if you understand consciousness, remote viewing, and transdimensional physics. It may keep them from being fully 3D materialized for a long period of time, but out of safety concerns, since they are routinely targeted and hit with scalar electromagnetic weapons, which we'll talk about this week. But the ETs, I'm aware of it, they're aware. That's why in the protocol that we use, we always ask the ETs to manifest in any way that's safe and appropriate for this time and place. And operative word being safe for everyone. Because they're aware that the planet right now is in a situation where this is not a controlled, peaceful situation on Earth. And they're very acutely aware of that. And they're not going to do anything overt, usually, to shut down those systems, because that would look like an act of hostility, which would be used against them later. So I figured this out. They certainly have. I mean, Bijou has an IQ around 450, which is running more than double mine. So, which means I'm a moron. So if I figured it out, they have. But you just acknowledge that is part of the situation on Earth now at this time and place, but you account for it, and then you never let it alter your knowledge that you can make very intimate and deep contact in dream time, in consciousness, even physically, at the right moment. But you have to be prepared, but you never, let these other aspects or disruptive aspects change what you're going to do. It just changes your perhaps expectation of how conscious you need to be to make contact that's meaningful. And it means the key is understanding the nature of consciousness as an omnipresent field, and that all of this, look at the stars and the land around us. Think about for just one moment, everything is pure consciousness resonating at a frequency that makes dirt, sand, stones, stars, air, photons, atoms. It's all awake. All of it's conscious. You are, it is. If you understand that concept, then you know that there's an infinite variety of ways that the ETs, who certainly understand those concepts to be interdimensional and interstellar, can interact with us, whether it's electronically, in thought, in consciousness, physically touching us, even though nothing can be visibly seen, materializing right above us and then vanishing, coming up through the ground, appearing as an area of scintillating lights that looks like almost like a hologram or a subtle
another
fog.
flash bulb at 30 degrees in
Yes,
the north.
I saw it too.
You saw it?
Yes.
Anybody else see it?
Here?
Yeah,
Yep.
a little bit to the left.
Yeah, a little bit down.
Right
exactly.
there.
Yep, exactly there.
Yeah.
Very important.
It was quite a bright flash.
Very
It's
important.
important to understand that could be a ship that's in quite close contact with us.
During the next break, I asked Dr. Greer about the other electronics that were on site, like the video cameras, still camera equipment, because I knew the site wasn't completely scrubbed of electronics. I wanted to understand if any interference was being generated. I also wanted to understand if there were any other sources that could be making these monitors behave like they are. Hey, Steven?
Yes.
The optics don't interfere with the magnetometer at all? Like the electric charge in those?
No, you'd have to hold it up within maybe 2 inches for it to go up.
Well, what about my audio recorder?
No, you'd have to be within an inch
Okay.
or two.
You can try.
Okay.
Take do you have it there right now?
Yeah.
Then don't mine.
Do what?
No, mine is
Put it
on.
next to
Turn it
you'll
right.
see how close you have to be for it to
Oh,
go
okay.
up.
Just turn it right there. Go right in.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so it's
So you have to be
very close.
Yeah. So this is not. This is very anomalous. Even this, you have to be so close for it to get any signal. And mine was going off the scale like it would with a microwave oven, but in a pattern that was symphonic when we called in
That was
Bijou.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
put yours again right close and keep it close and just see how it sounds like a drone.
see.
Where's the sensor? Is it on the side?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's built into the system. See how close it has to be?
Yeah.
So and I've been standing out here and no one has. So the point is that these are communicating, and we've asked the ETs to use these very simple devices as communication tools.
And you can ask them questions and then give them some silence to respond.
Yeah, but then you have to know how to interpret it.
Yeah.
So is everyone back? Yeah. So if everyone could be seated in silence,
darling, through the dark currents, I find an accurate copy, a blueprint of the pleasure in me.
we're going to do the Sanskrit puja, and it's from the ancient Vedas, which is a philosophical system that predates recorded history. It was an oral tradition initially, passed down for thousands of years, and the Sanskrit language is thought to be the root language of all Indo-European languages. Nobody really knows how old it is. My own sense of it is that it's the remnants of the language spoken during the last golden age on Earth hundreds of thousands of years ago, and its origins are interstellar, from the Sirius and Orion sector of space. At any rate, the ancient Vedas, which people confuse, they're not Hinduism or Buddhism. They predate Krishna, they predate Buddha, they predate Moses, they predate Abraham, they predate Christ, they predate any known system. But it's a knowledge of what's called the Vedanta, which is the becoming one in higher states of consciousness, and it's very, very ancient. The Sanskrit language is what's called a name and form language, which means the intonation and vibration of the word, if you use it correctly with high consciousness, can materialize that object. For example, Akshmaniyam is water. So you can have that thought sound of that word, and in a deep level of consciousness very quickly materialize water. Now all language is potentially that, because even English or Spanish or whatever language is originating from a thought meaning and then goes into a form. But Sanskrit is thought to be such an ancient and pure language that it's very close in its intonation to being able to do materialization and manifestation from its resonant frequency and vibration. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So I wanted to give you this background. So a mantra is not just a word, it's actually the thought vibration of an essential sound that is emanating from deep consciousness, that when used in a relaxed way of repetition can allow the mind to go into the origin of all thought, which is conscious mind itself, the great mind, samadhi. So what I'm going to do is a Sanskrit puja, which is a ceremony where we're actually acknowledging and giving gratitude to the ancient teachers that go back in time forever, who have brought the knowledge of higher consciousness and kept it alive on earth. And that's what the puja is. But the puja itself, if you allow your mind to just rest with the words as I am speaking them, is like one long meditation. It lasts 15 or 20 minutes. So we'll go into silence now. One thing I'd like to dedicate this puja to, because I'm sorry I can't remember who, but there was a woman who shared that her mother-in-law passed away last night.
Yes.
Yeah, remember? And so what I'd like us to do as we do this is to send blessing to all of our ancestors and those of this planet who've gone on into the worlds of light, and ask them to also assist us in the work here for the future generations, because they can do that. They can assist in amazing ways, those who've gone on into the worlds of light ahead of us.
I saw that earlier. Onto the light.
Blessings in all directions. Apavitra pavitrova sarva vastangatopiva yasmarek pundarikaksham sabaya biantara sushi avahanam Narayanam Padma Bhavam Vashishtam Shaktim Chatat Putra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gauda Padam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Shisham Shri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam Chahasta Malakam Chashisham Tam Trotikam Vartika Karumanyan Asmad Gurun Santataman Atosmi Shruti Shmirti Prananam Alayam Karun Alayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Vashakrito Vande Bhagavantao Puna Puna Yadvare Nikila Nalimpa Parishad Siddhim Virate Nisham Shrimachri Lasitam Jagad Guru Padam Natvatma Triptim Kata Loka Gyam Payopatandaram Shri Shankaram Sharmadam Brahmanadam Sarvatim Guru Varam Dhyayami Joitir Mayam Avahanam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Asanam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Snanam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Chandanam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Vastram Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Ashkatan Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Pushpam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Dupam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Deepam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Akshmaniyam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Naivejam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama Lakshmaniyam samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama. Tambulam samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama. Shri Palam samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama. Arartikyam. Karpurakaram Karunavataram Samsarasaram Bhujagendraharam Saravasantam Hridayara Vinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Arartikyam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama. Lakshmaniyam Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama. Pushpanjalim Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Guru Devo Maheshvara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Akanda Mandala Karam Vyattam Yeno Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yeno Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Brahmanadam Param Sukadam Kevalam Gyan Murtim Vishvatitam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamatashilaksham Ekam Nipilam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Sahitam Sadgunum Tam Namami Agyan Timriandasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Shaksurnumiton Yeno Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Pushpanjalim Samarpami Shri Guru Charan Kamale Pyo Nama. Now let us be seated in silent meditation together.
Can you feel the deep silence of this space now? We all return to our chairs in the circle to meditate silently. And then Dr. Greer led us in a meditation that utilizes a mantra or a set of thought sounds that we let the mind rest upon to facilitate our collective consciousness to go into that unbounded state.
Now, just hold one another's hands. And as you hold one another, see that there is a perfect circle of light formed. Feel the deep peace within us, and the stillness, and the quiet. And in your inner sight, become aware that there is a trans-dimensional interstellar craft that is around us, and we are within it. And that there are extraterrestrial beings meditating with us. And we see this beautiful ring of light as we hold one another, and interspersed amongst us our extraterrestrial life forms shifted beyond the crossing point of light. And they are holding hands with us as we go together into this pure state of silence. And we see deep within us, each of us, a fountain of pure light, consciousness made into light. And it rises up through our chakras, empowered by the light of the earth and the power of Gaia. And it reaches our heart level, and then up to our crown chakra, and it bursts forward, upward, into the space above us. And it makes a perfect column of light. First, each of us individually, and then it blends into one. And this light goes from left to right, around the circle, and becomes one massive beam of celestial light, going upward into space, piercing the stratosphere and spreading out. And this light and the goodness within the earth and humanity, in its full potential of enlightenment, spreads from this place to every star and every galaxy and every intelligent life form in the cosmos. And we ask the Great Spirit that is infinite and boundless to facilitate this beautiful light as a beam going upward, guiding those civilizations capable of interstellar travel to this place on Earth. And ultimately we see this beam of light enter into a vast interstellar center. And it is thousands of miles in diameter in deep space. And this is where the enlightened ambassadors from other civilizations have gathered for millions of years, time immemorial. And we see that they behold us clearly, even as in our own mind we see them. And we ask then that they join us here. And in their thought essence, they do. And we see that they are sending back through us a cosmic light coming from the zenith of the heavens into this beautiful circle of people, and through us into the earth. And the earth rings like a bell with the resonance of this cosmic light. And it reaches every man, woman, and child on earth. And they see a new vision of a new world manifesting from within us into the physical earth. And we ask the Great Spirit then that every man, woman, and child on earth, in their heart and mind, in their essence and spirit, be awakened to the simple truth that we are all one people in the cosmos, and that it is time for us to enter universal civilization and endless peace. And we see all the secrets that have been withheld from humanity unveiled, and the wondrous technologies that could turn the earth into a rose garden of peace and abundance brought forward for the good of humanity. And we see all those forces on earth that are retrograde and are resisting this, transformed by the beauty of this vision, effortlessly transformed. And now we behold this light becoming stronger, and we see crystallized in our mind, in our vision, a new world. And this is the time that has been called the day that will not be followed by night. It will be an endless and unbroken peace for hundreds of thousands of years. And while first it may be an external peace, the reality is that it will evolve into the age of enlightenment. And in the passage of time, every child born on earth will be born in cosmic consciousness, and thence evolve into God consciousness and universal unity consciousness, and beyond into Brahman consciousness. And as humanity evolves in this fashion, we see that we become ambassadors to other planets, spreading enlightenment from Earth, even as enlightenment has been brought to Earth by the ancient ones before us. And so our hearts are filled with joy at this vision and ask that the Great Spirit assist us in making it so. And we invite these interstellar civilizations patiently awaiting our arrival to assist us as we vow to assist them as the children on earth to be the entry points, the channels through which this knowledge and vision and reality is made manifest on earth. And so we ask the Great Spirit that this beautiful time we know in our hearts is the destiny of humanity be brought forward, and that we dedicate ourselves with one another and with the earth and with space and with all these visitors, our brothers and sisters from every star system, to create a new world. And we see that it is actually already born within the Empyrean realm of ideas, and it is ready to be made manifest, but it requires our action. And so with some effort on our part, assisted by the great being and the unseen realms and the spirit world and these interstellar civilizations, what seems impossible becomes inevitable. And we see it made manifest within our lifetime. And our hearts are filled with love and joy at the vision of a new world. Namaste.
Well, if you followed along with this episode in a mindful, relaxed, but attentive state, I wouldn't be surprised if you actually made contact. Please do share any experiences or encounters that you may have had during or after this episode. This was only the first night of the ambassador training, so there'll be more to follow, but I won't be sharing any more full sessions like this from the week. But I wanted to share how a night of contact work lays out with Dr. Greer. But I will be sharing many more individual experiences and stories as time goes on. The music from this episode was Bjork. I think her music is clearly on the side of matters such as this, like disclosure, spiritual enlightenment, art, and peace. So we'd expect her to embrace our use of her music to tell this story. Not only do we want to thank her for her massive contributions to life on planet Earth, but we want to ask her to engage with us on the disclosure movement about these issues of UFO cover-up and interstellar warfare, and the truth that we are all one, we are all awake, and we all suffer when any living creature suffers. I'm Paul Reedner. See you next time on CE5 Minneapolis.